What's up, channel makers? Today I'm here to answer the #1 most important and most frequently asked question on the YouTube platform.
Want to buy YouTube Premium?
Okay, all jokes aside, that's not probably the most important question, but come on YouTube, do you have to ask me every single time? I said no last time and the time before that and the time before that. I don't think I want YouTube Premium right now. So let's get into this video. There are thousands and thousands of elements that make a successful YouTube creator. Just like if you were a singer or a professional actor, there are all those thousands of things that come perfectly together to make you successful. For many of us, becoming successful on YouTube is just a matter of improving little by little.
2633, 2634, 2635, 2630.
And then at one point, we'll have enough of these thousands of things come together perfectly for us to be successful. So today I'm going to help you identify what some of those things are. Some of you so kindly offered to be roasted on my community post that I made on the Channel Makers YouTube channel, where I promised I would ultimately and completely destroy your videos. Oh wait, before we get into it, there are a couple rules. I established these rules when I did the roast on the other channel, but I actually don't remember all the rules, but there were two that I do remember. The #1 rule is that these are not comprehensive reviews of a video. I'm pulling a few things out of each video, hopefully for it to be a little bit fun, but also to point out things that are common mistakes. So again, these are not overarching reviews, they're just a couple things that I'm pulling out. And rule #2, no crying. If I'm being too mean, no crying. If you feel like what I said wasn't right, no crying about it. If you didn't get your video picked, no crying about it. Really, the only option is to not cry here. Okay, so the first one that I want to review today is on the channel DIY Reed. DIY Reed has 20,500 subscribers and 255 videos. And the video that I chose to review today was this video, AutoCast Picasso 2 CarPlay AI box review, stream movies and TV shows in your vehicles. Okay, the first thing here that I want you to notice, and we're actually just gonna watch a little clip of the video here. We're gonna watch up to like maybe the first 30 seconds. So bear with me while we watch and I'm gonna explain what I'm looking at. I wanna see if you notice it too.
This device plugs into your USB port on your CarPlay or Android Auto enabled vehicle and allows you to play videos and use apps using an Android OS overlay on your vehicle's radio.
Okay, I love what he did right there. I'm just gonna break it down kind of step by step. He gave just like this very brief overview. It's almost like a little bit of a hook into the video. Okay, let's keep watching.
So to Android AI box. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to DIY Reed. My name is Reed, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. On this channel, I cover a range of topics, including tech reviews, home automation, and how-to videos for both home and automotive.
Okay, for there it was about 10 seconds where he did kind of like this channel overview, here's what we do here, that sort of thing. 10 seconds out of the first 27 seconds. So Reed, the first thing that I would recommend here is that you just either trim that down to like 2 to 4 seconds, or honestly just get rid of it completely. It's okay to have a little bit of that. Honestly, I would probably just use like a splash screen or something that in quick, like in just a small amount of text or something shows everything that you do. Or, you know, maybe you have videos in this splash screen, maybe 2 to 5 seconds, kind of whizzing in and showing different types of products you review or different DIY products that you do. I just think that there's probably, and this is just a guess, there's probably some amount of drop off that happens at the beginning of your videos just because of that. And so that's probably the first thing that I would take care of. The one other thing that I would bring up as I watched this video, and I'll watch maybe a little bit of a clip here. I really like, Reed, that how you present as just like this normal kind of average dude. You just present the information well. And I think that's good. But as I looked through your entire channel, I know I cheated a little bit. I looked outside of this one video, but you've had some really big videos here. Over the years that you've been on YouTube, you've had some significant videos. And while your subscriber count is good, and while you have decent view counts on your videos, I would expect it to be a little bit higher. And I think the reason for that is just that as you present your videos, you do a great job bringing forth the information, but I just don't get a ton of personality. And I think that if there was a little bit more personality and a little more of a connection element with your audience, you'd probably have a much better opportunity to retain some of those people, get them to subscribe, get them coming back to watch your videos long term. I think that that's something that you probably do to some extent, but I would just level it up a couple notches. I think that that would really help. All right, guys, before we go on, if I wasn't mean enough there, let me know in the comments. I can definitely be trying to be meaner. This is not my thing to be mean. It's probably a little ironic that I call it a roast, but I'm just gonna hopefully be helpful here. All right, let's look at this second channel here. This channel is called Rapid Hedgehog Animations with 12,000 subscribers and 114 videos. All right, so the video that I reviewed on this channel was called Boris Sneaks into the Bar Instead of Work/Grounded. Okay, Number one, to give a little bit of context, this is like a cartoon series of what it looks like. So these are like almost little cartoon episodes. So there's a beginning section here for probably the first 30 to 45 seconds of the video. As you can see, it's like showing the characters that are going to be starring. So you have Cody, and then you have Daisy. So you can kind of imagine you're watching like an old television show and you're getting these introductions. The problem is I just don't know how well this works on YouTube. What I will say is that by looking at the age of this channel, the videos that you produce, and the views that you're getting, the subscribers that you have, it looks like you've had some good success here early on. But I just wonder if you trim down this section, again, this intro section is so critical, especially on YouTube, that if you got it trimmed down from maybe 30 seconds or 40 seconds to like 15 or 20 seconds, if you would just retain that many more people who weren't willing to stick around for this super, super long intro. That would be my kind of number one recommendation. And the reason that I hit on these intros on these first two videos, and probably honestly I'll mention a few more in these upcoming videos, is because the introduction, the first 5 seconds and then the first like 30 seconds is so key to keep people retained on your video. And so we really want to focus there on these first few seconds to get it as streamlined and as optimal as possible. All right, the next thing that I would recommend, I had a timestamp here. It's 1 minute and 35 seconds. So I'm gonna give a little bit of an explanation, then we'll watch a bit of the video here so that I can kind of show you what I mean. So like I said, this is a kind of a cartoon animation, what looks like series. The biggest problem that I have with these videos is the AI voices. And so we're gonna listen here and I'll kind of give you an idea of what that sounds like.
I want to go to the barn. 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 I want to go to the barn.
Okay, you get the idea. So it's just like this totally generic AI voice that doesn't really do human inflection. It sounds like a total robot. And all of the character voices sound like that. I just wonder how much more success you could probably have if you used at least an AI voice that sounded like a real human. I know that maybe a service like that maybe costs some money, or as an alternative to that, actually having someone voice these character voices would be so awesome. I think you have such a cool concept here, and the fact that it's working as well as it is, I love that. I mean, you posted this video 4 days ago to get 13,000 views. That's crazy, especially given the age of your YouTube channel. So I just think that you have something really good going on. I think that a small optimization like that could be really, really big. So I would definitely give that a try. And then as you go, there were a couple parts as I watched the video and kind of watched the story, there were a couple parts of the script that maybe felt a little slow or repetitive. But overall, I think you're doing a decent job here. I just think that a couple little tweaks, like I mentioned, would make a huge difference and could probably increase the speed of your success up a lot. All right, next up we have the channel Alexander Kislov. And this channel looks to be somewhat of an automotive kind of car focused channel. I watched a few of the videos, so we're gonna review this video here, this most recent video, how to recharge your cold air intake filter, clean and re-oil. Okay, so this video was posted 2 weeks ago, 116 views. We have 815 subscribers on the channel and 147 videos, with I believe a good number of them being short form. So kind of a little bit of a channel overview there. Let us take a look at this video. Again, we're gonna watch probably the first, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and then we'll kind of do a reaction as we go so that you guys can kind of get some context, and then I'll share my thoughts.
If your reusable air filter is dirty, don't be sad. Be glad. Because now we have the K&N Recharger Kit. So stay tuned to find out how clean your air filter can get. So for today's little project...
Okay, this intro here I'm like torn on. The intro, I love that there's some personality here. I love that it's a little bit funny. You say something kind of a little bit funny, and I just love that. I think that your personality is really cool, and as I watch through some of your other videos, I can kind of see that bleed through. I do think that the intro could be a little more snappy. You have kind of this good intro, you know, you're walking out by the car, you have the hood up, you're doing all this, you're showing the product that you're gonna be using. But I think you could still make it a little more snappy while using your personality and having a little bit more fun with it. The one other thing that I would say is maybe try and do some sort of hook. I watched the video and saw that you cleaned the air filter really well and it looked really, really brand new. Maybe hook them with that at the very beginning and show a little clip of that and then go into the, this is what we're gonna be doing today or whatever. But also people read the title, they know that this is how to recharge your cold air intake filter, clean and re-oil. So they already know that that's gonna happen, so you don't need to spend a ton of time explaining that to them, because they already know what they're here for. And so maybe you can give a little bit of detail or a little bit of an intro, but just make it a little bit more snappy. And then the second thing that I would bring up, and I want you guys to listen to this again, the transition from the intro to actually the meat of the content. There's just this shift in energy that I felt that I want to see if you guys notice. So let's watch it again.
So stay tuned to find out how clean your air filter can get. So for today's little project, we're going to be cleaning this air filter.
Okay, did you guys hear it? So it's kind of like excited, you know, doing this kind of fun voice and doing all that. And then it's just, okay, today we're going to be doing this and this. So most likely, and maybe I'm wrong here, either you were kind of speaking into the microphone as you were recording, or you came back and did some voiceover. It's hard to keep up the energy. It's hard to match the energy maybe in an intro where you were, you know, a little bit more engaged. But try and keep that energy up a little bit. I mentioned a little bit earlier on, I think the first video that I reviewed, that personality and having that connection is really valuable. I think you did a pretty good job of that in the intro, but I'd love to see that carry on throughout the rest of your video. And finally, the one other thing that I would mention here is there was a shot that you had where you cleaned the air filter, you sprayed the stuff on it, and then you said you gotta let it soak, but then you started washing it off. Now, as you washed it off, you were kind of talking over the top. Something that you could do to just make this, just to give it a try. I don't know if you think it would make your content better, but I've seen it improve some people's content, is where you just do the task, you film the task, and then later, you go in post, you can voice over, you can speak into your microphone and voice over what's happening, or you can do a talking head, and then you just insert the video of you doing the thing as B-roll. The reason that I would recommend doing this, or at least giving it a try, is a lot of times when we're doing something and talking at the same time, we're trying to fill the time while we're doing the thing, and so we end up being a lot less concise, and we just kind of, you know, sputter on, we just say a bunch of things that don't necessarily need to be said. So that could potentially help your video just be more concise and more helpful. But overall, a good looking video here, and it looks like you did a great job on the project. All right, if you guys like videos like this on the Channel Makers YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you let me know in the comments. I think these videos are really fun. I love looking at videos that you guys are making to see how and what you're doing, to see what's working, to see what's not working, and then to hopefully bring back some learnings as I watch through your videos. So if you like these style of videos, let me know in the comments so that we can potentially plan some more in the future. All right, on to review number 4. This channel is called This Is Me. This is a food, lifestyle, and travel Join My World channel. And so this is 332 subscribers with 68 videos. The video that I reviewed was called White Chocolate and Macadamia Nut Cookies with 177 views. The first thing that I noticed as I watched through the video, it just looks a little bit blown out. It looks like it's maybe a little bit too bright. I can see from the reflection on the bowl that there's a light kind of shining on the area, which is good. We want to light up the area, but it's possible the light's just a little bit too bright. So a couple things you could do, maybe bring the light back just a little bit. If you can, you know, change how bright the light is, that would be great. Maybe you could diffuse the light through a sheet. There's so many different things you can do with the light just to make it a little bit less blown out. And you might also, depending on what kind of camera you're filming on, you could potentially change some of those settings to just kind of bring the light down a little bit. Otherwise, I think the shot is great. I love that you kind of have this great area kind of prepared to show a close-up of what you're doing, but we don't want it to be blown out. It just ends up looking a little bit more amateur if the area is blown out. So try just to make it a little bit darker so that you have a little bit more clarity on this shot. I did notice that there was a little bit of an audio inconsistency between your talking head and then the voiceover. So we'll show that here just so that people can kind of hear it, and we'll give them an idea of what that difference sounds like. Then we'll talk through some ideas to help kind of bring that consistency.
I'm gonna do white chocolate and macadamia. As usual, I've got a full list of the ingredients in the description. Okay, so you can kind of hear the talking head just sounds like a little bit more open. It sounds like you're maybe in a little more of an echoey space. And then the audio of the voiceover just sounds like almost a little, not muffled, but just a little bit more like a closed-in space, maybe less echoey. If you could figure out a way just to kind of bring those two things together, you might consider doing the voiceover in the same spot that you did the talking head. It's easier on the voiceover to maybe control the audio. Maybe we're working in a smaller office or editing, maybe on the couch where there's a carpet or couches, or you may just potentially be in a more sound deadened area when you're doing the voiceover because maybe you're editing the video and doing the voiceover. So try and just make that a little bit more consistent. It'll just make it so it doesn't stick out to the person watching the video, and that's what we want. And finally, the third thing is I would just consider shortening the intro section. I mentioned this in the last video. You know, your title is descriptive. It's white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. And so in the intro, you don't need to say, in this video, we're gonna be making white chocolate macadamia nut cookies.
that's already something that's been said, so we want to, you know, get it a little bit quicker. Now, I do believe that you did show the finished product here, which I thought was great. A little bit of a hook, kind of know what they're going to get. A little bit of talking is fine. A little intro is just fine, but give them something to be excited about. You know, tell them that I do this special thing right after I, you know, bring all the mixture, all the ingredients together. I do this one thing that makes my cookies turn out so much better. Give them a reason to stick around. You know, hook them in a little bit, and then just shorten up the intro a little bit. I think that will help a lot. And last but not least, we have this channel, Texas to Milan DIY Italy. This channel is 2,000 subscribers with 288 videos, antiquing and thrifting in Milan. So I watched quite a few of these videos, these most recent videos, and it was a little bit difficult for me to pick out what exactly I think should be changed or things that I thought should be changed. But I did find a couple. Let me see if I can find the one that I wanted to talk about. Okay, I think it was this first one here. We have the video here. You guys can see this very first shot. My issue here, and many of you guys maybe can see this, is I just don't love the framing. And I noticed that, you know, kind of in your channel trailer and a couple of your other videos, you do have some videos where you framed out a little bit better, but a lot of the framing is kind of like this. I'll give you an example. Like, it would be kind of like this for me. I'll be like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here. It just feels a little bit different. You know, it just feels a little bit weird. And I know this is a bit of an exaggeration, but you're a good distance away from the camera here. But I just want you to be a little bit higher up in the shot, closer to the top. You know, kind of use that rule of thirds. You probably want to be somewhere along that top third line, maybe a little bit off to the side. You're doing great. Other than that. So just fix the framing. And that's, again, one thing I noticed a couple of your videos that I would really want to improve. It just looks a little bit more amateur if you're, you know, really low in the frame, or, you know, maybe really high in the frame, whatever. So just a little thing that you can fix there. Honestly, the lighting here, you can tell it's more of like a natural light. It looks good. I think it's, you know, you're well lit and that sort of thing. So other than the framing, I think you're doing okay. The one other thing that I would recommend is, so a lot of the videos that I watched on your channel here, you are kind of walking through these different markets and things like that. And I noticed that some of the audio was a little bit hard to hear. So I can tell you're talking during some things, and you're kind of giving a little bit of commentary of what you're seeing, or, you know, pointing out specific things. But as you're doing that, it sometimes sound muffled. I do see actually in this video now, I just recognize it looks like you do potentially have a mask on, which I find it's fine, that's great. But if there was a way that you could get the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, I think that would really, really help improve it. I watched a couple other channels who are doing similar things to you. Your video style and format, it all feels very good. It feels like the right type of video, but I think that maybe the audio could be fixed a little bit. I noticed that some of the other videos were kind of giving more commentary than you had in your videos, so maybe a little more commentary, things like that. But overall, I think you're on the right track here. It looks like you're growing well. You're getting some decent views, and so those were just a couple little things I noticed in these videos. These videos are so long, but as I looked at other channels and I looked at the style of video that you're doing, kind of this shop with me, go to these antique markets and such, a lot of the videos are like 30 minutes plus. And so at first I was like, well, maybe the videos are too long, but it looks like people like this style of videos. There's definitely an audience for it. You might try some shorter videos just to see what happens, but it looks like your audience kind of likes the longer videos, so I'm not going to tell you to stop there, but it does seem like kind of that 30-minute spot is kind of a sweet spot, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So you might try just kind of hang in there and see what happens. All right, these are the video reviews today. The roast, the mean roast. Okay, I know I wasn't mean. I just felt nicer and nicer as I went, but I had a really good time looking over these channels. Thank you all, those of you who submitted your videos to be reviewed and roasted. I really appreciate it. It was so fun to make this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned or were able to take away a few things that will help you on your channel, even if you didn't get your video reviewed. And if you'd like your video reviewed in the future, let me know again in the comments so that we can make more of these videos. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.